It's a new Disney film. It's a new Disney film, finally. Welcome to my review of Moana 2. Welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel, as well as movie reviews here every week. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above. I'm also making Vlogmas content again this year, so I'm very excited about that. I have lots and lots of things to show you, but one of my first festive activities was a little trip to the cinema. Not that I don't go to the cinema when it's not festive, but to go and see Moana 2. Very exciting. I had a festive sandwich with it and a festive coffee, even though they made me miss the beginning of the film, the very beginning of the film, so I didn't get to see a Disney logo, so stay to the end to watch that. So I've seen mixed reviews. It's been really interesting. I really enjoyed myself. I had a really nice time. I had gone to see something else in the cinema the day before and didn't have such a nice time, and so it was really nice. I sat back, I let myself be immersed in the story, because Disney just does the storytelling so well. I didn't look at my watch. The cinema was basically full. I wasn't bothered by other people. I was just captivated with the story. Now, what I will say is I was a little bit worried at the very beginning, because it is a very slow start, and it's a very slow start with them putting in a little bit of information that you may need in order to understand the story later on. So I get some of that. And then she's sort of gathering a bit of a team, which we see from the trailer, so that's not a spoiler. And so you needed to know a little bit about this team. And there's a couple of songs towards the beginning that I was like, these are a little bit on the weak side, you know, compared with previous Moana songs, which are, as we know, very catchy. Good enough to be put in the ship's horn medley of the new Disney Treasure ship. So that's how good we know the songs are. So the start is a little bit slow, and I think if you were taking younger children to go and see this one, the start is a little bit slow, and then there's some really scary bits later on. Now, I know that Moana 1, first Moana film, had some quite scary bits, you know, even though the crab is shiny, he is a little bit on the scary side. And then obviously Te Fiti, when she is spewing her lava, she can be a little bit scary too. But I would say this one, there is discussion of death, which I don't feel like, you know, Disney films in the past, there's like, oh, her mother was dead, or oh, her mother was dead, or oh, also her mother was dead. But, you know, Bambi, we know what happens in Bambi, but there's not like, we might die. There's a chance we might die. We're going into this knowing we might die. I'm really sorry, because some of you might die. And it was interesting. I think I had my sort of teacher hat on there going, oh, if I was taking a younger child to go and see this, where we hadn't really had that conversation about death, you know, a family member or a pet hadn't already died, then there might be some conversations happening in the car on the way home from this cinema about death and what they were talking about when they said we might die. So that was an interesting one. So just that warning coming for taking younger children, slow start, discussion of death, some scary things going on. Now, some of it was a little bit more conceptual than Moana 1. I think a little bit more highbrow, but then I just feel like that's the direction that Disney has gone with their films now. I remember sitting talking to you about Frozen 2 and going, oh, it was quite meta, it was quite deep, it was quite like, you've got to think of the concept, and watching Wish and sort of bringing you the same thing, and not being the biggest fan of Encanto because it sort of did the same thing as well. And so I feel a bit like a broken record, because it's obviously just what Disney does now. We know Disney films have a message and they have a story generally anyway. But this one was, oh, the ancestors have said this, and so we have to do this ceremony. Then the ancestors have said this, so we have to send this person here. Or the ancestors have said this, so I know they'll guide me and we won't die. So there was a lot of that going on. So Moana has this mission and she has this crew. She has to complete it, and they're going to sing about it. Then she's got the ocean. Then there's this child who we're led to believe from the trailers may be her daughter, but is actually her sister, but that's not a spoiler. I just know I would like to have been told beforehand that it was her sister, because it was unclear. But yeah, they go on their mission. It's very much a mission driven thing. Now, I like the fact that we had a lot more Hey Hey and Pua in this one. I thought that that was really cool. We've also got, you know, some more of Moana's crew in there, and they sort of get involved a little bit more. So it's not just about Maui, and it's Hook. We've got a couple of new villains to get to know who are quite super villainous. There is a mid-credit scene, so just be warned, don't leave before that, but there is no end credit scene, so you can leave after your mid-credit scene if you're not watching the credits like I am. And then, yeah, we've got some other songs. Again, I don't think they're as catchy as the first one. They were enjoyable, but I just felt like, oh, this is a part where we're going to sing about this, and oh, now Maui's here, so we're going to have a Maui song, and that was quite cool. I think that we get to see a softer side of Maui in this one, which is quite nice. He's quite sort of macho and extreme in the other one, quite proud, and we get to see a slightly softer side of him, but that's part of his character arc, and I love that for him. And then, yeah, definitely some darker, scarier bits. Now, the little coconut friends, the, you know, shooting blow darts at people, we get a little bit of an origin story for them. And I was so here for that. I think that's sort of my biggest takeaway from the film. I love their origin story. We get to find out, like, what makes the poisonous darts. We also get to find out what cures the poisonous darts and where they come from. And then they have a bit of a character arc of their own. And we get to see one of them really come into their own in this film. Again, not a spoiler. But I really enjoyed that bit. I think I was here for the side characters. I enjoyed the side characters in this film. And the little, like, nuggets in there. And there's a moment where we sort of come back to the whole, is Moana a Disney princess? Does she count as a Disney princess? And we almost break a fourth wall there with a line. Again, not going to spoil it, but sort of addressing that, is Moana a Disney princess question. But yeah, overall, because of the storytelling, I literally sat back and I was like, I'm just enjoying this. I've got my little gingerbread latte going on, enjoying a film in the cinema, immersed in the story, not watching the time, not worrying how much it's raining outside, not worrying about the work that I'm still putting off doing now. I'm just enjoying the film. And so for me, it was a solid film. Should you pay your cinema going money to go and see this one? I think it's one that, like, the whole family can go and enjoy because of the storytelling. So it'd be a good day out to go and see it. However, I don't think it's one where you absolutely have to see it in the cinema. It's not one of these where I would have paid extra money to go and see it in IMAX. It's not one of these where, yes, I had to go and see it opening weekend because I wanted to know the story. But had it been showing on Disney Plus this weekend, I would have just as happily sat and watched it at home this weekend. So yeah, it would represent a good day out, but I don't feel like you have to go and see this one at the cinema. It doesn't require the big screen. It doesn't require the big audio. So there you have it. As always, if there is a particular movie you want me to go and watch this week and bring my thoughts back to you here next week, do let me know in comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on my Vlogmas content coming your way throughout the month of December. And I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.